winning records. Never mind being the team to beat the AFC. They may not even be the team to beat in their own division. Better coach them up, Sean McDermott. It's now or never for you in Buffalo, my dude. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning. Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
Max upgrading the Hawaiian music today, getting the tunes in, getting us ready for another Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday on Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleland with you on this Wednesday. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Glad to be here with you. It's kind of the day we turn the page a little bit in the week. We will begin to look at Chiefs Raiders. Why should this not just be a blowout for the Kansas City Chiefs? We'll discuss that. Or maybe it should just be a blowout for the Kansas City Chiefs. We have our buddy Shreyas Laddha, our KU insiders, going to join the show in a little bit. We'll talk some KU football, but in the bye week, we'll probably spend some time and make it a basketball preview of sorts. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, featuring Yumkin Pumpkin Ale, WBC's most popular seasonal beer that's made with actual pumpkin and served with a spiced rim. Yumkin Pumpkin, now available at Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. TJ, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm losing my mind. I actually grabbed a Hawaiian-ish shirt, brought it down here, and I don't know where I put it. Like it's somewhere in the vicinity of this computer. It might get put on at some point during the show, but it might not. I might be losing my mind.
You have some time to find it. We are just getting things started here this morning. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up this morning here on KFH. NLCS continues last night. The Dodgers get a 5-1 win over the Brewers, who go down 0-2. You know how long it's been since we've had a repeat champion in Major League Baseball? It's been like 25 years since we've had a back-to-back World Series champion.
Was it the old Yankees?
I believe it is, yeah. It's crazy. That's wild.
For as much as we complain about the Dodgers doing it every year, it's not.
They haven't.
Yeah.
Nobody has. I mean, that's what's wild about it. But that happened last night. I've kind of been a little more locked into the ALCS, but it's good stuff on. Last night's game wasn't very competitive, unfortunately. We have a couple of contests for you today that we'll get to throughout the program. A chance to win some Wichita Thunder opening night tickets. That's coming up Saturday. So stay tuned for your chance to win some tickets there. We'll have your chance to win some HTO as well. Always pays to listen to us here on KFH. Thanks for listening. And you can call us anytime at 869-1240. Max Powers got that hotline held down for us in his Hawaiian spirit here on a Wednesday. You can also get us on our video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X. You can get us on the Odyssey app by just leaving us a voice message. It's very easy. Just click the little microphone if you're listening to us there. And thanks to those listening to us on 12 News Connected. I'm TJ, you need to find that Hawaiian. I mean, you have one Hawaiian, that's all? Why can't you just go get a different one?
It's not. I mean, this is the only like Hawaiian-esque, and it's really not even that Hawaiian. It's got stripes on it. It doesn't have any florals. I got nothing good for you. I'm sorry.
I don't know why.
I'm just not that not that kind of guy, I guess.
Just not that much fun. Just don't enjoy a good time. Just don't
maybe
enjoy.
I'm just a real pencil pusher. When I go to the beach, I wear polos, not Hawaiian shirts.
Ah, come on. Like what are you even doing?
Hey, whenever I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll get it. Christmas is coming up, all right? I expect something in my stocking from the Allbrucks.
We should all strive to just have fun in life, Just have a good time and enjoy it. The Chiefs get ready for the Raiders. Boy, I just I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time seeing any path for the Raiders here, which feels a little dangerous to me. Everyone was like, "Oh, this Jags game is a trap," and ultimately the Chiefs did lose that game. I don't know if it was trappy, but they did end up losing it. Nobody gave the Chiefs a chance really in the Lions game. It was doom and gloom, and I didn't see that. This one doesn't feel like it. It feels like the Chiefs should just roll them up. Right? Like I'm having a hard time making any case for the Raiders.
It does, and every time we say that, it always ends up something weird happens. So,
and it's a divisional game, and I get that part of it, but
what's the line still? Is it like 11?
Let me see if it's moved. It was at 11.5. Yeah, it's still at 11.
Really? That's ginormous. I don't think they're covering that number. I figured it was going to be like a touchdown. I think that
the Raiders, it's hard, and we'll dig in a little closer. And they've dealt with some injuries, and they just don't do anything well right now. I guess if you were going to look at something, they've been a pretty good defensive team. They've been a top half defensive team, but I don't think that's going to matter with the Chiefs. Like I don't think it matters if you're top half. They're going to score on everybody.
Maybe we'll get an Ashton Jeanty Boise State game, 300 yards.
Ashton Jeanty's fine. Like their line is pretty bad. That's a problem for them, a big problem for them. It's been a problem for Geno Smith. It's been a problem for everything. And then they've had some injuries, but I was a little higher on the Raiders probably than the masses in the off season. Like I put all the pieces together, and they haven't had all the pieces together, but you put it all together with Bowers and Myers and Jeanty and Geno Smith and Pete Carroll and a defense that, was going to be pretty good and has been. It's like, okay, this isn't a bad team at all. And they've been a pretty bad team thus far this year, but we'll dig in a little deeper on that as we make our way through. Excited to talk to Shreyas Laddha today about KU, number 19. Was talking to our pal Rachel Hallam in the office yesterday, saying she's seen a lot of people like can't believe KU's 19. I guess some of the players have chimed in on being 19. I just like, come on, like it's an opportunity for KU. I love that they got 19. Like I think it's a great opportunity for Kansas.
I agree. Late night on Friday night. It's already here.
That's this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guest?
They're not having a musical guest. They're having a DJ, and they're going to let the students out on the floor and turn Allen Fieldhouse into a club.
Oh, that sounds terrible. But maybe if I was younger, maybe it was Flory Badunga that wasn't thrilled about being 19. I'm so glad he's back. That's gotten lost in the entire rotation of things, is that he's back, man. That was the biggest piece of their offseason, was getting him back. Can he live up to the hype? We all wanted more of him last year. You're going to get plenty of him this year. I'm excited for that. I want to see what he can do. He tantalized last year. But other than that, I don't know. You got him and you got a freshman, and then we don't know much else. And that's why I'm excited to talk to Shreyas Laddha. That's coming up in just a little while in the next hour. We'll get caught up on how things have looked, the vibes from early practices and all those kinds of things. That's about all we have this time of year. And then, we're close, though. You mentioned, just the scrimmage and the exhibition stuff. Like, Wyatt Thompson mentioned that K-State's got an exhibition with Mizzou like next week, and then we're there. We're going late October. We're playing basketball for real.
Yep.
And I can't wait for it. I'm ready for that. We talk about the weather all the time. That is one thing I am ready for the changing of seasons, is to get college basketball mixed in again.
Just that the month of November in college basketball is awesome because you're like, everybody's good.
Yep,
like, who? Yeah,
I like it. I like that month. All right. I want to say thanks to Crestview Country Club. Great place to go wear a Hawaiian golf shirt right now, TJ. You get out there. Everybody knows you're ready. Everybody knows you're ready to have a good time. You're playing golf this afternoon?
No, I'm doing a story on a Capon golfer who's way better than me.
Oh, that practices out there. Well, thanks to Crestview. It's a great time of year. I went to that Bourbons and Bites event last week. It was fantastic. 3 bourbons, a couple of burgers. It was great. Popped into the bar for a beer afterward. It's a great place. Even if you're a golfer, even if you're not a golfer, give them a call, ask them about all the different memberships they have, and say hi if you see us out there. You see me out there. All right, we'll come back. Let's get ready for Chiefs Raiders, shall we? It's next on Sports Daily.
90s.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
Yeah, that's a. You're watching us on the video stream. I wouldn't call it a Hawaiian, but I'd call it festive. You look like you're headed to an island. And that's okay. Like we're making progress here.
This is as close as I've got for you, and I think I'm like one flex away from popping the seams in this thing. I don't think it fits very well, but I got it on.
Is it the muscles that are challenging the shirt?
It's
okay. All right. I guess your muscles have grown then since you bought that shirt.
I guess. I don't even think it fit me when I bought it, honestly. I think I took it to Hawaii and I didn't even wear it, honestly.
Now, speaking of, there were a couple different times on social media you challenged my athletic and physical abilities yesterday, and I'm not sure where that comes from. I've got more in the tank than maybe I let on there. We get shot. I have once beat a Harlem Globetrotter in the game of pig. Don't doubt this. Don't doubt this slight frame. Don't doubt this older gentleman when we're talking about athletics. I still got a little gas left in the tank. All right. Let's talk Chiefs. So before we get into the Raiders game, I saw that CBS Sports, when it's talking about trades, because it's one of the places that I browse in the mornings before we come on, make sure we didn't miss anything overnight. The Kamara to the Chiefs, it's right at the headline of what people think should be done. And then another name is Breece Hall. They're saying should get traded to the Chargers. Now, there's nothing to these. So, like, these aren't rumors. These aren't anything else. But it does bring up a couple of names in Kamara and Breece Hall. And I've seen this a lot with the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs need to trade for a running back. The Chiefs need to trade for a running back. And while I love both of those players, Kamara, Breece Hall, both of those players have ties to this area. Kamara with his time at Hutch, Breece Hall, of course, Northwest High grad. I don't think that the Chiefs need to trade for a running back. I would love either one of those players to be on the Chiefs. They would both make them better. But that doesn't, by design, feel like anything that would do much for the Chiefs. Like, I don't know that it would. Breece Hall is a little different because you could maybe extend him and make him a bigger part of the future if you traded for a younger guy like that. Kamara wouldn't be that. Kamara would be kind of a short-term thing. But what the question becomes, like, what would they add to the current offense in the way that it looks? The offense is designed, they're going to throw the ball a ton. Yeah. They're not like, they've got an offensive line that can block it up now, and they have all of these weapons to throw to. Like, they're not going to turn around and hand the ball off much more than they already have. And honestly, like, the only thing they need out of their running backs is what they've gotten out of their running backs. Help us in short yardage, be good pass blockers, and be options out of the backfield on a route. And all three of them can catch passes.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I feel like the running back room isn't going to do more than what they're doing right now. I think that, like, you think about you just have to think about the replacement value. Like, what is Breece or Kamara going to give you that Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt aren't going to give you? It's like they may get you an extra yard per carry or something like that, but I don't think they're going to hand the ball off 10 more times in a game because they're back there. I think that those guys aren't a huge part of the offense, and I think that they do well at what they need to do. And then I think that Brashard Smith as well, the rookie who's getting involved more and more. I think he's going to be a big part. I think that he fits in really nice with, like, the Jerick McKinnon role of somebody that can go catch a pass, somebody that can just go be a speed guy. And then they've got Kareem Hunt, as Josh Briscoe called him, the 3-yard monster. Can just get you 3 yards every single carry somehow.
Well, you trust him. You trust them all to block. Brashard Smith's not asked to block, but you trust Pacheco and Hunt to pick up a block when they need to and protect Mahomes. I just like the thing is, like, those are great players. Kamara, Breece Hall, they're both great players. And Breece Hall, again, Breece Hall could be a bigger picture, something like you can add him and then it changes your offense a little bit down the road. Not this year, though. Kamara is a volume, like both of them. The problem is both of them need volume to be successful. And this isn't the kind of offense this year that's going to give any running back any volume. Their volume, I like, we talk about fantasy football, you talk about real football. Like, imagine how are you going to, and how are the Chiefs going to, because this is something now that we need to start thinking about. How are they going to spread the ball around here? Like, what does the target share look like moving forward for Kansas City? The game against Detroit was interesting. Both teams kind of wanted to play ball control. Both teams were willing to, not run a ton of plays. It's remarkable in that game. Patrick Mahomes only threw the ball against the Lions, TJ, 30 times. And they only ran the ball with their running backs 18 times. So they just, they didn't, and Mahomes ran it 10 more. But they ran the ball more than they threw the ball in that game. Isn't that crazy? Like, that game, with what they did, like, the game plan was designed in a way to keep the Lions off the field. And the Lions tried to do the same thing. But the Chiefs had more runs than throws in that game against the Lions. But I don't think that means it's like some design that they're going to start being a run-based team. I think that was a specific game plan in that game where, and Andy Reid and everybody, if they're being honest with themselves, knows this isn't the same defense we've had. They're doing a really good job this year. I do think that, but they're not as good. And so what are you going to do when you play a team like the Lions? We got to keep them off the field. We got to keep the Lions off the field. And then the Lions in turn try to do the same thing. All of a sudden we get a game. But what's wild about that is, even with that, they scored 30 points. I'm telling you, I think that, like, in a game like we're about to see against the Raiders, unless they jump out to a huge lead and just try to milk the clock late, like, we're going to start to see Mahomes throw it, closer to 40 times a game. And then it's like, where do all those targets go? How does that get divvied up? I don't think they want to target Kelsey 7 times a game anymore. I do think they were protecting Xavier Worthy a little bit in that game. But now you've got Rashee Rice to mix into the equation. These targets, and history tells us that Rice is going to command a lot of targets. He always has. So if he commands a lot of targets, like, who doesn't, right? Worthy, before last week and before the injury, was doing the same thing. So is he getting 6 targets a game? Rice is getting 8 targets a game. What does that do to Kelsey? Juju Smith-Schuster still going to be factored in? Do they take shots? Like, it's just, they don't need another mouth to feed in that offense, I don't think. So the idea of trading for a running back just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's interesting to think about how they're going to split it up, because this is the first time that all 3 of Hollywood, Xavier, and Rashee have all played in the offense at the same time in a regular season game. And so we don't know what it's going to look like. I would think that I agree with you that Rashee would be kind of the main target. He would get a bunch of balls funneled to him. I think that Xavier will be that number 2, and then Hollywood will just, everybody's role is going to go down a little bit, and that's a good thing, because you got 3 really good receivers out there at the same time. So I don't think that Xavier Worthy is going to go be the deep threat guy that we see Tyquan Thornton being right now. I think that he still is going to be a big time route tree. Like, I think that he could still get, 5 targets a game, 6 targets a game.
Thornton?
No. Worthy.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to say Thornton might get 1 or 2.
Yeah, Thornton's not gonna do much.
Yeah, I think Worthy will. I think Kelsey is going to be the one that we see come down, because he's older and because it probably needs to protect him a little bit. I would have said Hollywood Brown before the last game. Hollywood Brown looked really good. He had, what did he have in that game? 4 targets in that game. So that probably doesn't change a whole lot. That probably feels about right, 4 or 5 targets. But what I'm saying is, so if you're going to tell me that Rice gets 8 targets a game, and Worthy gets 6 or 7, and Brown gets 4, and Kelsey probably gets 5 or 6, Like, who's gonna have time to run the ball? Because I think the Chiefs would like to throw the ball a ton, especially if they know Patrick Mahomes is going to be upright. Like last year, they ran it because Mahomes about died.
Yeah. I think that the argument that can be made is the fact that we this year, and I mean part of last year too, honestly, is that we haven't seen the Chiefs in a game where they've needed to like milk a clock and run it out. Like the Ravens game, you could say that's the case. They had a big lead and just wanted to get the game over with. But like they're based, I mean, the Chiefs have been in every game. Like every game has been a pretty close game, except for that Ravens game, and then yeah, that's what I'm. There's not a huge need for it to be like, okay, we're up 2 scores in the fourth quarter. We don't want to give the ball back at all. Like the Chiefs have a lot of the time had to come back in the fourth quarter, and that's why they throw the ball so much. So I think that that's in itself, and I think that for what they do need, I do think that Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt can get it done this year. I think that maybe in the offseason, this is a question that you can make. I think that drafting a running back might be something that you could look towards, but I agree. I don't think that it's worth sending a draft pick for.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not that. Again, guy like Breece Hall, you're making that move as a long-term play, and that would be fine. And he is a stud, and he's been stuck in a bad situation his entire career. He's not making any money yet, but he will. The Chiefs are what Jalen Moore did, and if he can continue to do those things, we still don't know what's going on with Josh Simmons. No idea. We'll see at practice today if he's back, I guess. But if Jalen Moore is as good as he played on Sunday, then the Chiefs are going to get a lot of money back in the offseason because Jawan Taylor won't be there anymore. And so they'll have a little wiggle room to address those things. Running backs are back in style, right? Running backs are a very important part of the NFL again. They've always been important to the Chiefs. They just use them a little different. I'm going to look at Mahomes, the amount of throws he's made in each game this year. 39, 29, 37, 37, 41, 30. So the 2 games where it's been lower, the Eagles and the Lions, that's by design from the opposition, right? Both of those teams, kind of both directions. They wanted to try to limit the offenses the best that they could. But I think we're going to see more of that 37 to 42 attempts a game for Mahomes, and it just doesn't leave a lot of room to need to run the ball, especially when he's running the ball as often as he is. He has carried the ball at least 4 times every game this season. He's carried it at least 6 times, TJ, in 4 out of the 6 games they've played this season. So you just add it all up, and there's just not a lot of room, especially for a guy like Kamara, who's been rumored the most. Like, Kamara is great. He's older, but he's a weapon in the pass game, and the Chiefs can throw to their backs. I'm just not sure what more that would change for the offense. There are a lot of teams Kamara would make better, like way better. I don't know that the difference between what they have in Kamara moves the needle much at all. And so if I'd say make a trade for a back, you go do it for a young guy that can help you beyond this year. But it just, that's not like, to me, if the Chiefs are making a trade, they better go find a pass rusher, right? Like they better go find somebody that can put pressure on the quarterback if they're going to do something like that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that the running back argument, I feel like you could make the argument about the red zone. It can help in the red zone of it. But other than that, I think that like we've been saying, I don't think they're going to hand the ball off 10 more times a game if they get a guy back there that they like a lot more. I do think that it could help in the red zone, but I mean, this last week they went 4 for 6 in the red zone. They played really well in the red zone.
Those guys have been good this year, and Andy Reid's not going to line up and run it in the red zone very often. They have Mahomes as a weapon in the red zone now. They have all of the and I know I've been saying this since July. But the thought of Rice, Worthy, Kelsey, Hollywood Brown behind an offensive line that can be better than it was last year and quite frankly looks really good, I don't know how teams are going to stop it. I don't. Yeah. Like, how do you defend 4 pass catchers? 4 good pass catchers. And then maybe Thornton's out there taking you over the top. Like, how do you defend that? If you can't put pressure on the quarterback, you're screwed against this offense. And the Raiders, they can't do that, right? They have one of the best in the business at it this weekend. And so that's going to be the ticket, though, to beat them. And they have a good offensive line now, and Mahomes is willing to take off and run more often. It's not the Lions' game plan was the correct game plan to beat the Chiefs. It was, and the Eagles' game plan was the correct game plan to beat the Chiefs. Teams are going to have to try to keep them off the field as best they can. And that's where I suppose when we begin to crack the door open on the Raiders, and we'll continue this into the next segment, that's where I suppose you look and you see a young, talented runner like Genty, and you're like, well, maybe that could be it. Maybe this could be his breakout game. But their offensive line just hasn't been good enough to establish that the way that Pete Carroll wants to. They've had to throw it far too often. Geno Smith has not been very good, and it's been killing him. It's been hurting him badly. And so that's when we look at it, it's like, how do you beat them? I don't think the Raiders can do the thing that it's going to take to beat them. Jacksonville, though, beat them. No, the Chiefs beat themselves, right? And that will happen down the stretch. The Chiefs aren't going to win every game they play down the stretch. That's not going to happen either. So how do they continue to not make mistakes and do those things? Bottom line, though, trading for a running back just doesn't make. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, because who knows, but it's not the thing that's going to.
It's just
alter the biggest trajectory of this season in any way.
The biggest argument that you can make that it's not going to happen is that if they're going to go get somebody that's better than Isaiah Pacheco, and with the situation they have right now, it's going to take a fourth or better probably. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, you can't afford to. If you're getting Breece Hall, you're going to trade probably a third at least.
Yes, I would agree with that. Yeah.
I don't think the Chiefs think that that's worth it, because the Chiefs, of what they do, it's so important to hit in the draft, and they've done so well at that. And that's just the business model, is that they're going to pay people and pay them handsomely, and then just fill in the rest with the rookies that they draft. And they can't afford to not have that.
They have $2.9 million right now in cap space. Not much to wiggle with. But if you look at up and down their salaries, their cap numbers, the biggest cap numbers for the Chiefs, and they're supposed to be under. It's Patrick Mahomes by far. He'll restructure again, I'm sure. Because he's almost $80 million against the cap next year. Currently, that'll get restructured. But Jawan Taylor's number 2. He's coming off the books. Travis Kelce currently is number 3. He's coming off number 4. Sorry, he'll come off the books unless he re-signs for something. And then there's some other names, but Harrison Butker's way up there. I know I just mixed that in just for you, TJ. Mm-hmm. But they'll have some room to do something at the position if they want to. But the other part of it is, do they want to? Because Isaiah Pacheco, I believe, is still under contract next year. And who knows what Kareem Hunt's that interested in. They could run that back for next to nothing. There's appeal there, too. Would you rather see the Chiefs spend their money on a running back, or their draft capital on a running back? Or would you rather them have a bigger pass rush? I think it's a pretty easy answer. The biggest need to me on this team right now to make it truly, truly elite is a pass rush. And, Karlaftis and Jones gets triple teamed every play, but they're just not getting enough, in my opinion. They're not getting enough pressure on the quarterback to be a truly elite defense again. That's going to be the area to attack, whether it's at the trade deadline, whether it's in the offseason, whenever it comes. It's not going to be at running back. I don't think. And you're
Pacheco does expire after this year.
He does expire after this year. So that's pretty interesting, because Brashard Smith's never going to line up and be that dude. So maybe they draft one. Maybe they bring Pacheco back. Pacheco's good, and he's not going to be expensive now. But something to consider. It's being floated out there. We are almost, we're getting a couple of weeks away from halfway through the NFL season. Let's preview that Raiders game. We'll dig into what the Raiders have been doing this year, because their record, of course, at 2-4 is not very good. But we'll look inside a little bit when we return on Sports Daily. Don't go anywhere.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TG Cleveland on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Glad to be with you here. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game all season long, kicking off with the juicy Week 7 matchup between the Raiders and the Chiefs. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Of course, you'll see it on 12 News. It's a noon game. We are glad for these things. It's been a while since we've had just the old traditional noon Sunday kickoff for the Chiefs. We don't get a ton of them, but we're going to get this one for now. You'll have this one, and then you don't have a noon game scheduled again until Colts. December 14th. So it's just like, enjoy this one while you've got it, Chiefs fans. So the Raiders come in, TJ. They've had a lot of injuries. They haven't had their best player, Brock Bowers, for most of the year. They are not a good offense right now. They are a pretty good defense, but this one kind of looks like a Jaguars light to me. The Jaguars have been good defensively, but they've been a good run-stopping defense. They have not been a great pass defending defense. The Raiders are bottom half in the league right now defending the pass. They've been a better run defense. So to me, it's another strength on weakness, right, for the Chiefs offense. They need to throw it all over the Raiders. And if Max Crosby's not going to wreak havoc in this game, and he and Patrick Mahomes, of course, have a long, fun, colorful history, then this should be a game where the Chiefs passing game eats. And if that's the case, I think that's why we're seeing an 11.5 point spread. Like, it's hard to find a way. And it's a road game. It's a divisional game. It's coming after an emotionally important game against the Lions. Like, all those things are there that we know in the NFL can get a little tricky. But man, just on paper, I'm having a hard time finding a path for the Raiders in this one.
Yeah, I agree with you, except for the fact that it's Chiefs home game, not a road game.
Right.
I do think
apologies.
I do think that this is the place where they would go out, win, and not make it stressful or anything like that. The fact that it is an 11.5 point spread shows you that Vegas thinks that as well, because nobody's ever more than 10 in the NFL, it feels like. And so I think they will come out. I think that they're going to throw it a ton. I think that I'll ask this question while we're previewing it. We haven't really talked about yet. We've talked about what Rashee Rice's role will be with this team. Is he going to have a big week 1 back, or are they going to ease him in at all?
It's a good question.
I think he could get 10 targets.
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't go. He's not coming off an injury. Yeah. So, yeah, I think he'll go right into his role. I mean, he will be practicing. There's now I don't think he couldn't practice, right? During this time, he couldn't practice with the team.
He could be in the facility, but he couldn't practice with the team. Today's the first day he'll practice.
So that would be the only thing that maybe limits it just a little bit, because that matters a lot to Andy Reid. But if you lean back into the connection that he and Mahomes have almost always had, assuming everything goes fine at practice, I don't think it'll be 10 targets. I'm not sure there'll be any games where anybody gets 10 targets. But I would bet he gets, let's call it more than 6, right? I'll call it more than 6.
A lot of people have been talking about it, saying that they think that he's going to have a huge week back, that he's been waiting so long, and that there's no tape on him so far this year, and so they can go just play with them. You know what I mean?
A weird thing. But I get what they're saying, and I don't disagree. Like, the Chiefs like the emotional thing, right? They have been using him as like this, rallying cry, which has been questionable at times, using the terminology of free for, like some injustice has been done to him or something. But he's back, and look, they've been leaning into that this year. And yes, they do get caught up in, let's go show them, let's do this, emotional thing. So yeah, I think there's probably something to that. But in the reality is, I think what we see out of him here is going to be what we see out of the offense moving forward. Is it a matchup thing? I don't know. Like, how do they utilize all these weapons? I think they were protecting Worthy in the last game. I do. That's just me. That's just watching it. I think they were. I don't think there was some matchup against the Lions. The Lions secondary was decimated, and I just think they were trying to limit his ability to aggravate his ankle. So maybe it's a little bigger in the beginning for that same reason. Maybe this is an opportunity to let Worthy's ankle get a little bit better, but he doesn't have to travel this week. Worthy doesn't. This is that weird stretch where they play 3 straight home games, right? In this stretch, which almost never happens in the NFL. But they've played the international game and they've been on the road. But yeah, 3 straight home games, and then they'll go.
Oh yeah, you're right. Monday night.
Yeah. And then they'll go 3 weeks, 2 games without being at Arrowhead. Basically, most of the month of November they'll spend on the road. So, they take advantage of that. That's something to pay attention to. I hadn't since the schedules come out, I really hadn't thought a lot about where these games are being played because I think it matters less to the Chiefs. But they'll finish the month of October at Arrowhead, and then they play 1 game in the month of November at home. They have 3 road games and a bye. So that's interesting. It's something to think about as we get through the next 2. But it's another home game here. That's good for Worthy. I mean, it is good for Worthy that he didn't have to get on a plane if that's what aggravated it. But I do think you could see a little bit more from Rice for that reason, that they continue to try to take it easy with Worthy while he recovers from that. I don't think the shoulder matters, but his ankle clearly does. He keeps having to miss practice for it. And I think they're going to pull Kelsey back a little bit and try and keep him fresh. And whether he likes it or not, it's the right play. I mean, look, this is the first year, and Kelsey looks better physically, but it's the first year to me where he's looked like an older player than his prime. Like his reflexes maybe are a little off. Like the catches aren't, they're always like he's bobbling around a little bit sometimes. I think we're starting to see it. And I think if they want him to be peak 2 months from now, 3 months from now, pull it back a little bit with Kelsey. And I think they can do that now with Rice. So, Rice gives them some relief in a lot of different ways. I'll say he's targeted 7 times in this game. Let's call it 7 for me.
Okay. I'll take the over. Give me 8.
Okay. Worthy will be about 5, probably. Yep. Kelsey will be about 5. Hollywood will be probably about 5. So what does that give us? 15. Gives me 22 targets. Cook in 2 or 3 for the backs. That's 24. I mean, somebody's getting more targets than that. It really depends. I don't know. Like, what's a pass volume game? Let's go back to one of their big pass volume games. Would have been let's take it back to the Ravens game real quick, and then let's look at how they distributed it there. So if I go back to the Ravens game and just pull up that box score, the target share in a game where Mahomes threw it 37 times, which I think becomes pretty much the minimum now. Worthy had 8, and then it was Kelsey with 5, Hollywood with 5, Juju with 6, Brashard Smith had 4 in that game. The backs, Thornton only had 2, so that's probably a pretty good comparison. I mean, it's Juju's targets that go elsewhere, maybe. The other question is, like, for me, when we look at some of these older games and like Noah Gray's getting targets, Juju, like those guys, did they continue to get anything? Would be my question.
They will. I think they will, because that's the Andy Reid offense, is that he likes to mix in random guys and do weird things like that. I think that I'm surprised that Noah Gray doesn't have a bigger role this year, honestly. I thought this was going to be a big Noah Gray year after what we saw last year. And as you were saying, with Kelsey getting older and things of that nature. But he hasn't really been a huge part. So I don't know what that means going forward now, especially if there's going to be less of him or what. But yeah, I don't know. I think that this is probably what it's going to look like. I agree. I don't think that Juju is going to get much run other than like random gadget safety valve guy to hop in there really quick. But they're not going to draw up they're not going to draw anything up for Juju or for, I mean, maybe Thornton if you want to take a deep shot, I guess. I still
Thornton
think
needs
Thornton
to be involved. Juju doesn't necessarily have to be involved in the offense. You're glad he's there and he's valuable to this team very clearly. And he's a good blocker. But he doesn't need pass targets. I do think you want Thornton to, even if you're not you want him however many times a game you want him to take that go route and just stretch the field and keep him honest. Because if they don't, at any point, if they don't respect that, that's a shot you're taking every time, right? If you know he's getting one-on-one over there, and the second Mahomes sees him get around, he's going to take that shot. And I do think that's important for this offense. I don't think Worthy's going to do if Worthy ever does that again. I don't know that it's going to be right now. And I think he and Rice and Kelsey are all run after the catch guys. So you do need somebody to take the top off. Hollywood has even become kind of a run after the catch guy. So those three receivers primary are kind of turning into underneath guys for the Chiefs. You need Thornton's got a chiseled out role here. And I don't know that they run a lot of 4 wide receiver sets, but if I'm running a 4 wide receiver set and I'm the Chiefs, it's Thornton, not Juju, as the 4th on the field.
Yep.
Juju does the same thing that Rice, Worthy, and especially Rice. Rice took his role when Rice was a rookie. And so Juju's the guy that, unless it's a blocking situation where they've got a play set up where they need somebody to block, it's Thornton that's out there running that extra route for me. Because if he can get over the top, you take that shot.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's what they're going to do. I think that it's going to be interesting to watch this. Obviously, as we keep saying, a lot of anticipation of what it's going to look like.
Probably the whole Chiefs Kingdom's been hyping this up too much, probably. We've been waiting on this for.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that it is the Raiders in this game, and it's not going to be somebody with a big pass defense or something, and then they start pressing it. I think that this is the perfect game for him to come back and just let it fly.
We have been waiting for this since before the season started since the preseason of 2024.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this spot, for all of these guys to be on the field together. They signed Hollywood Brown. They drafted Xavier Worthy, and then the wheels fell off, and we never got to see it. It's the first time we'll get to see this, and I think that is leading up to probably some overhype, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. I'll tell you a million times, I'm far more excited that the offensive lines look so good. That's what's going to make the pass game better. These guys, this is icing on the cake. That is the ticket. The line is protecting Mahomes for the first time in what feels like 5 or 6 years at this level. That's what has unlocked this thing.
Did you
all
see
right.
Mahomes' MVP favorite again?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the next hour. That wasn't a bold proclamation when I said he's going to win the MVP. He's now the betting favorite to win the MVP, which is funny. We'll get that. We've got a chance to win Wichita Thunder tickets, chance to win HDO coming up in the second hour. Shreyas Laddha joins as well. We'll continue the conversation, though, on the other side. It's all Brockton Cleveland on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, everybody.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
That music, these shirts, if you're watching the video stream, means it's a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, everybody. Get you through the midweek. This is the time of year where sometimes we are really trying to inspire the weather to take it easy on us. That's coming soon enough. Not right now, though. It's been nice getting a little rain this week. Glad to be here with you, Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland. It is Sports Daily. We're rolling into another hour, and we want to start this hour off with a giveaway. The Wichita Thunder's opening night, Saturday, against the Allen Americans, and we've got a chance for you to win some tickets right now. All you got to do is text the keyword Thunder to the short code 20357. That's Thunder to 20357. One entry per day now through noon on Friday. Again, Thunder to the short code 20357 for a chance to win those tickets to the home opener of the Wichita Thunder Saturday. Message and data rates apply. Good luck, everybody, on that. We have been talking some Chiefs, some Raiders, some trade suggestions. We won't call them trade rumors or anything, but some suggestions. Your comments welcome on all of it. MVP odds, TJ, you noticed this yesterday too. Patrick Mahomes has now become the favorite. I had some futures on him to do that a long time ago, but to me, I don't know. Like, Josh Allen got his last year, and he shouldn't have. It should have been Lamar Jackson last year, but they got that one out of the way, right? The league does this all the time. Like, they got that one out of the way. Allen got his MVP. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Josh Allen. He probably should have got it 2 years ago when Lamar Jackson got it, but he's a great quarterback. But they have that one out of the way, so there's not going to be any pressure to do that. At the end of the day, it's going to be about numbers. Lamar Jackson's numbers were going to be almost impossible to beat anyway, but he's hurt. So it comes down to some interesting things. Jared Goff has really good numbers this year. If the Lions end up being the best record in football, he is a name to watch. Patrick Mahomes is not only a favorite, though, TJ, at this point. He's a heavy favorite. Baker Mayfield is the next with Josh Allen at 3-1. But to me, this feels like, and it just felt like this for a while, because I think Mahomes is going to pile it up to be the NFL's MVP.
Hold on. Before we keep doing this, I'm looking at the passing stats right now. Geno Smith has 10 interceptions. That's nuts.
It's been very bad. And I don't think he had one last week. I think it was in the first 5 games he had 10.
That's nuts. Yeah, the thing about the Patrick Mahomes thing that is, it's just an interesting talking point. I don't know what the adjective you want to use for it is that he is the heavy favorite, but right now, he's not leading in yards or touchdown or QBR. It's basically speculative on the fact that, like, well, Rashee Rice is coming back. Like, I'm sure it'll be crazy.
It's a bet. And I don't even think it's as much Rice as it is just you can kind of the Chiefs survived this stretch without him. And if in Vegas is watching things like, look at how good the offensive line has played, look at how likely it is that they're going to throw the ball a lot. He's running now a little bit, which is something he's never really had in the arsenal. The thing that could hold him back and the thing that could get him beat for the award, of course, outside of injuries and those kinds of things, are if the Bucks end up as like the 1 seed and Bake keeps it up. Because remember, Baker Mayfield hasn't had Mike Evans for a lot of the season, Chris Godwin for a lot of the season. Like, he's also getting some horses back down the stretch here. And Bucky Irving for the last 2 games. Like, if they're really good, we're going to start getting into storyline stuff. If the Lions end up on this record-setting offense and, they bounce back and continue to do their thing, you're going to have 2 guys there that are getting into storyline stuff. Right? That it's like, okay, like this story of these 2 and their redemptions, and they're like, that's a good story. And the NFL does this. The NFL values that. So that'll be something that could keep it away. I think Herbert's a non-factor. Obviously, now he was a favorite for a while this year. Drake May is an interesting one. He's had a good year. I don't think New England's going to have the win total at the end of the year. Probably put him where he needs to be on it, but maybe he's a name to watch. Here's a crazy name to watch. You're looking up numbers. Go look up the wide receiver numbers and tell me where Jackson Smith-Njigba falls in all those categories. Jackson Smith-Njigba is plus 40,000 to win the MVP right now. I put a future on Jackson Smith-Njigba. I mean, he's leading everything. And if Puka Nacua misses any time, that's the only guy that's going to potentially knock him off of some of these receiving awards. So you've got, and it was the Triple Crown wasn't good enough for Jamar Chase last year. So it's a stretch, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's only leading in yards. He doesn't lead anything else.
He's right. He's up there. Sorry. He's up there in reception.
Okay.
leading
He's
in
top 5 in basically everything. Yeah,
he's leading in yards per game by a pretty good clip. He is on pace to go over 2,000 yards receiving. He's at 116 yards a game right now.
That's crazy.
He'd be on pace to go. What do we play? 17 games, so he'd be up over 120 catches, over 2,000 yards. He's going to need some more touchdowns to get in there, but at plus 40,000. Just a name that popped in there. And Puka would have been a name too, but now with his injury, like it's going to take the perfect season for a receiver to do it. But otherwise, it's mostly quarterbacks, of course. Aaron Rodgers is not going to have the numbers, although his story has been pretty entertaining this year. Dak Prescott was another guy coming into the season that I kind of liked as a shot. He's 40-1 right now. And he hadn't had CeeDee Lamb. He could also pile up some of their defense is terrible. Problem for Dak's going to be, I think, by the end of the day, the Cowboys are going to be about a 500 team. So he's not going to. So if you're asking me right now, I think Mahomes is as heavy a favorite as he's being bet at the moment. But if you gave, I would say it's going to be Mahomes, it's going to be Bake, or it's going to be Jared Goff this year.
We'll play this game. What if the season was only 6 weeks long and it ended today? Who would the MVP be? Because it's not Mahomes.
Probably Baker Mayfield. Either Baker Mayfield, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I don't know. I mean, there's no consistent. I mean, like Baker's top 4 in all the stats.
Yeah,
basically.
but they only have one loss. And he's done it with a lot of injuries on that offense. I think Jared Goff would get some votes, probably.
If it was last week, I would have said Dak, but Dak kind of has slowed down.
Well, and the Cowboys, they haven't won enough games. You've got to have a good team. So I think it'd probably be Bake. I think if they gave the MVP award today, I think they'd probably give it to Baker Mayfield. Probably. I think if the voters had to make a pick, I think they'd pick Bake. It's a good story. It's a story award. Again, Josh Allen should not have won the MVP last year. Lamar Jackson had one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen anybody have. Like Lamar Jackson was the MVP last year. He didn't win the award. So it's not always the numbers aren't. Aaron Rodgers won one over Tom Brady. Tom Brady led him in every single category and his team had more wins.
It's such a non-quantifiable award. It's just, because we like this guy, he's going to get it this year.
Yeah, Josh Allen last year. Josh Allen won the award last year because he's so great and hadn't won one yet. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's legitimate. Like he won the award because they felt like it was time that he had one. He's too good not to have an MVP.
It's the classic.
He won the MVP.
It's the classic LeBron argument with Steph back in the day when LeBron said, "Well, if it's the most valuable player, I feel like I'm the most valuable to the Cleveland Cavaliers." I was like, "Well, it's not what that is. It's the best player award, and sometimes it's not even that. It's just this guy deserves an MVP."
Yeah, it's not. It is hard to quantify because every quarterback is as valuable as the next to their team. If you removed any of these quarterbacks, their teams wouldn't be very good. Go ask the Bengals, go ask the Ravens. Like that part of it, that part of that argument always drives me nuts. Like they're all equally valuable. Their teams would suck without them. That's why, honestly, position players outside of quarterback don't usually win this award. And it's why that's probably the correct thing to do, because you could remove Jackson Smith and Jigba this year, and he's not worth 3 wins, but Sam Darnold is, right? Like that's just the reality of it. And so it's a quarterback's award. Again, Jamar Chase won the Triple Crown last year, and he wasn't even in the top 2. At best, maybe arguably the best receiver season in a long time. But we'll keep an eye on it. I think Mahomes is a heavy favorite to win it, because now I think he's going to start piling up the stats that we haven't seen in the last 2 seasons. Those numbers that he's lacked are coming this year. They've already kind of been on the way. He's had a really nice statistical season. Now he's going to start padding it up, right? With the efficiency and everything he's shown. Now we're going to start to see a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, and this rushing element to his game. I think a big part of the odds are because people are seeing the same thing we are. If you give him this much time, he's going to destroy defenses. Destroy them. Probably the Raiders. We'll come back. We got more Sports Daily. Shreyas Laddha joining this hour. We'll talk some KU. Excited to do that. Stick with us, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It's Sports Daily. Jake Ballbrock, TJ Cleveland with you on this Wednesday. Glad to be with you. We've got Shreyas Laddha coming up later in the hour. We've been talking Chiefs. You can do that. We're going to talk a little Big 12 football right now. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring a hot link sandwich, split seared, served in a split top bun with chips and a drink for only $9. Perfect for lunch. Hot link sandwich now available at Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. This is different than the bun tortilla conversation with hot links and sausages we've been having. This is the split link, more get it at a barbecue restaurant style sandwich, which is a different, totally different conversation.
I can get down with that.
Delicious.
I can get down with that.
Yeah. All right. So you just sent me this, and I'm getting caught up here during the break. I didn't see this yesterday, which it was a Brent Venables accidental beef, I guess it looks like, with the Big 12. TJ, give us the timeline here.
I don't think it was accidental from what Brent Venables said. Let me find the quote here before I.
He said, "I'll give you the quote."
Here it is. I got it. This isn't the old Big 12 days where Oklahoma destroys everybody every single week except one game of the year. And then immediately, like within an hour, just sparked like wildfire. Everybody was on it, and everybody was pointing out, it was like, Brent Venables, you kind of sucked whenever you coached in the Big 12 at OU. Like, that was not like, you guys lost to KU as the number 6 team in the country. Like, you guys lost to some stupid games, yada, 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 on and on and on. Big 12 Conference quotes it from the official account and says, Coach Venables lost 8 conference games in his 2 seasons in the Big 12. So,
I love your Mark's spice in the conference.
Yeah.
I love the tweet from the Big 12. I absolutely
all the OU writers are talking about this is so unprofessional from an official conference.
Oh, that's stupid. Nobody actually thinks that. That's stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, coaches can run their mouths, conference Twitter accounts can run their mouths. Who cares? It's fun. And it's true. And Brent Venables is a great, Kansan that we follow along with, and I think most people root for generally. Here's what I think happened. And in the, 5 minutes of that last commercial break I spent with the story, I'll bet you if I went back and I actually found the context of this quote, he was asked about how tight the games are that they've played. And his point was probably that Oklahoma, not Brent Venables, had made a history for a long time of beating the crap out of the Big 12, which is accurate. It was Oklahoma and Texas's league for a long, long, long time. And more than it was Oklahoma and Texas's, it was Oklahoma's league for a long, long time, right? Oklahoma dominated the Big 12. Brent Venables did not, but he didn't say Brent Venables. He said Oklahoma. And so my guess is, in the context of asking about all the close games in the SEC, he is talking to OU people and trying to give them the context of these are not the old days of OU rolling through the Big 12 schedule in every game but one a year. That's what my guess is. And the Big 12 should be offended by it.
Yeah,
they should fire back, and they should do those things. Of course they should. And fans should point out that he himself did not have a very fun time in the Big 12, but I don't think he was trying to fly his own kite there. I think he was speaking to the reality that for a long time, Oklahoma fans got spoiled by rolling through a league schedule. And in the SEC, you're just not going to do that. I would imagine that it was an out of context moment that we all get to have a lot of fun with, quite frankly. And I do appreciate that.
We do. Kellis Robinette, the Eagle Star K-State reporter, tweeted out yesterday, what an absurd statement. Venables went 10-8 against the Big 12. K-State, TCU, Baylor, West Virginia, Texas Tech, KU, and Oklahoma State all beat him in the Big 12 schedule. And it's also worth noting that current Big 12 member Arizona beat them in the 2023 Alamo Bowl.
Again, I don't think Venables doesn't understand that. I don't think he doesn't understand that. I don't think that's what he was trying to say. It's just funny and fun that he did because the Big 12. And I am a Big 12 honk, man. I root for the Big 12 hard. I want the Big 12 to be awesome and to do these things. So I get it. I love it. I love that they're piling on. I just don't think that was his intention. I think I think that's one of those where you're like, I'd need to take that one down. Say that way.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, and I feel like you might be in the minority about this. That you root pretty hard for Texas and OU in the
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that you're in the minority on that.
I for sure. There's no question about it. I'm definitely in the minority there. I knew I would be. I knew I would. The second they left and I made that proclamation, I absolutely knew it would not be the popular opinion. I am not offended that they left. They made a business decision. They made the right business decision. Yeah. But I don't even like Texas A&M. But I would much rather see Texas A&M win in the Big 12 than Alabama or Georgia. This KU fans don't want to hear this. I would much rather see Mizzou win. I would much rather see the old Big 12 teams win in the SEC than the SEC, because SEC people bug me. I don't think OU fans and Texas fans are SEC people. I don't see them that way. That's our region. That's our part of the world. I want them to march into the South and to the southeast part of the country and kick their tails in football. I've always wanted that. I would rather see the old guard of the SEC lose, and that's how I felt. But I know that's not the popular opinion. Everyone else has their feelings hurt that they left, and they want to see them fail. They made business decisions, and they made the right business decisions. And guess what? The Big 12 has been far more fun since they're gone.
It's true. I don't know. I go back. I mean, I understand what you're saying there, but I also feel like I can't have a rooting interest for two schools that tried to kill the Big 12. I feel like, and that's kind of what
they didn't try.
They didn't try to, but it about did. It about did.
But they didn't, and the Big 12 is stronger because of it. The Big 12 basketball league is better because of it.
I think they got lucky that the Pac-12 died.
The Big 12, yes, they killed the Pac-12. The Big 12 is in a better position as a league, far better than it was, late in what year did Oklahoma and Texas leave? What year was that?
2022 was their last one. 23 was their first year in the SEC.
Would you say the Big 12 in 2025 is better than it was in 2023?
Actually, I think I'm wrong. 2024 was their first year in the SEC.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'd rather have them in it, I think, still.
Well, I don't know that.
But I don't think that's possible.
They were never, but the problem with it was they were in a different, and again, people can get mad at this. They can get their feelings hurt. They can go Brent Venables on me. I don't care. They didn't have a lot in common with the rest of the Big 12. They didn't. They were a bigger player than the teams in the Big 12 when we're talking about, TV money and their true value in a negotiation and all that. And it created a ton of problems. You had the Longhorn Network issue. The reality is they're a bigger draw, so much bigger than the rest of the Big 12 that they do fit better in the SEC. They do. And I don't like either of those teams. OU is one of my least favorite teams in the country as far as, growing up and doing all those things. And of the Texas was never the school I rooted for. I don't dislike them anymore because I've grown up and have a better understanding of their positioning, but they didn't have much in common with the rest of the league. And so it was always an awkward fit. They wanted more money because they were more valuable, and they were right, by the way. Now we have a much more evenly collected group of teams with a larger footprint that have more in common, and a commissioner that is better positioned to maximize the value of what the Big 12 does bring to the table. It was much easier to just lean on the back of Texas and Oklahoma and say, well, we got them. We deserve this TV deal because they're two of the top 5 biggest draws generally, I believe, in television that there are in college sports is OU and Texas football. 2 of the 5 biggest. I'm almost certain about that. And so at least value that they bring. That's been quantified. It was quantified when the change was made. And then you go down into like the 30s to get to the rest of the Big 12. And it was always awkward. Right? It was always awkward. They were always big brother in the league. So I do think the league, now it was real scary for a minute there. Bob Bowlesby was like, "Oh, we're dead. We're just going to roll over and die." And then Brett Yormark came in and was like, "Hang on a minute. Like, no, we're not. Like, let's be aggressive here." And now the league, I think, is better. Will they be as ultimately valuable? I don't know. But the problem for it was these other teams, Kansas and K-State, will use them as an example. Like, how do they fit in, and how do you go to the table and say, we need the same share? And if you're Texas and Oklahoma, you're like, no, you don't. We're the reason. Like, it got to the point where it was never going to work. And this made the most sense, right? Now the league looks more similar, and I think it fits better. Geographically, it's a little different, but as far as, footprints and stuff.
Whatever. I'll throw this at you. There's always been, like, I guess for the last 2 years, I think, ever since KU has been in the bowl games and all that stuff, and been an okay football program again. Like, there's been musings about well, what if the Big Ten comes in and it's like, we want to make basketball better. Like, let's go get the Jayhawks. Like, would they be in the wrong for doing that?
Say it one more time.
If KU jumped to the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
In a hypothetical situation, like what would be your thoughts on that? Is that the right thing for KU to do? Is that
I'd have to see the dollars. I've never thought the Big Ten was going to add KU. It's not a big enough football brand. KU, the basketball brand of KU is what everyone leans into, is why but they're in the best basketball league. So I've never thought that was a real possibility. And then people are like, well, they're academic. What is that thing that people talk about?
I don't know.
Nobody does. Like, that doesn't matter. Nobody cares about that stuff when we're talking about the only reason movement happens is for television rights money, right? It's not because you line up with the other institutions in your academic priorities. That's what presidents of universities say. That's not what anybody actually cares about when you're going to the table trying to negotiate a television rights deal. So you tell me, what does Kansas football bring to the table for the Big Ten?
I don't know. I mean, what's Northwestern bring to the table in the Big Ten?
They're already there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like they're going to be a super out. Like, the Big Ten football schedule has
it's horrible.
Four or five. It's
horrible. The Big Ten
so
sucks. They've got 2 or 3 good teams, and everyone wants to talk about it like it's the SEC, and it absolutely is not. Yeah, it's more like the old Big 12, where you have Ohio State and Michigan and maybe Penn State, and then everybody else. That's what the Big Ten is. So again, I would ask you, what is Kansas football adding to the Big Ten?
I mean, nothing. I mean, it wouldn't.
They're not going to add, like, that's. It's not.
No, this isn't an argument for me saying that is should
not
go.
A knock on Kansas. It's why back to my point, it's why I like the current construct of the Big 12 much better than the old one, because Kansas football adds a ton to the Big 12, right? The Big 12 football schedule is great, but when you're talking about the Big 10 and what they're looking for, they put 100,000 people at an Ohio State and Penn State and Michigan game. Right? Like, that's what they're looking to add. They're looking to add teams like Texas and Oklahoma. Not like we have in the Big 12.
I agree.
And
I'm not making an argument.
12 honk. I love the Big 12. It's a better league now.
I'm not making the argument that KU should go or deserves to go or anything like that. My question is the fact of, like, would
I be mad at them?
Like, I don't know. Like, it's just a weird, like, I don't know.
I wouldn't be mad at them, because if they did it, it would be because it was the right thing to do from a business standpoint from the university. So no, like, if I'm going to sit here most days and say these players need to be paid and we need to, we need to truly value the NIL and all those things, and then I turn around and say, but the schools shouldn't take the best opportunity to make the most money to do that, I'd be the biggest hypocrite in the world. No,
it's true. It's true.
It's a free market for everybody.
Okay, next hypothetical. I got another question for you now that we're down the rabbit hole in this. Let's get all this stuff out. Would you rather have the current Big 12 as it stands, or go back to like the original, like Mizzou, A&M, Nebraska,
add back in
Oklahoma.
Mizzou and Nebraska. I'd rather go back to that. I'd rather
get rid of all the new teams, so you'd get like the old Big 8 days, basically.
Yeah, sorry. Ooh, boy.
Would you rather? Yeah, it's basically, would you rather have Mizzou, Nebraska, A&M, Oklahoma, and Texas, or would you rather have?
I'd rather have
Arizona, Arizona State, Utah, BYU.
I'd rather have the OGs. Yeah, I'd rather have the originals. Yeah,
100%. Awesome.
The basketball league wouldn't be as good though, and I do love college basketball now. But from a reality perspective of football, it's not even close. Yeah, you'd take the former. From a like enjoyment perspective, man, I have more fun with Big 12 basketball than anything in college sports. So I love
even Big 12 football is awesome right now.
It's awesome because everybody's kind of on the same page, right? And that's made it so much fun.
I'll make the argument. I would rather watch, back to the KU thing, which is redundant, but I'd rather watch KU play in a Big 12 football schedule than play in like the Big 10 West.
Absolutely.
If that's a thing anymore.
I would too. I'd rather watch, but we're talking about two different things. I would rather watch that. I don't want them. If you're asking me where I want them to be, I want them to be in the Big 12.
Yeah. Different argument. I'm just saying the Big 12 schedule is more fun to watch than if you were a Rutgers fan watching the Big 10.
100%. The Big 10 is unwatchable outside of Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State the last few years. You couldn't pay. Like, I would not watch a Purdue Indiana game to save and Indiana's good, but I wouldn't watch that. No chance. I'm not watching that. Now, if I was a Big 10 fan, maybe I would, but man, I'll tell you, I was up Saturday night at midnight watching Arizona and BYU slug it out at the end of the game. Like I love the Big 12's vibe. And quite frankly, they've only found this vibe post Texas and Oklahoma. And so I don't hold a grudge against Texas and Oklahoma. I want them to go into the SEC and dominate that league, because I'll say, see, all those years the SEC said we're just better than everybody. No, you're not. You weren't that much better than everybody. Like, looky here. These two teams, nothing changed. They went over there and they're beating your butts. That's what I wish would happen.
Let me hold on. Let me throw a grenade before we head into the commercial break. Who's Penn State going to hire? We haven't talked about that.
I mean, Matt Rule's an alum. I hope Matt Rule doesn't leave Nebraska. Probably the Indiana coach. Probably.
It's interesting.
If Matt Rule was not an alum, I would tell you that I think Nebraska's a better job than Penn State. And Penn State fans would have a heart attack at me saying that. But I do think, like, if you could get Nebraska, if he is ultimately able to get Nebraska back on the right track, that's a better job than Penn State. I
just don't understand how in a world you can fire James Franklin just to go hire Matt Rule. Like, that does not feel like a reason you would fire.
Well, he's
James
an alum.
Franklin.
He's an alum. I mean, Matt Rule's done a pretty good job. I can't imagine a world where you fire James Franklin. To be quite
agree.
Honest.
Like, if you're gonna do it, like, you have to go get Marcus Freeman or Signetti.
$45 million for the guy that
we'll talk about
not the guy that even got you out of purgatory, got you out of hell, where that program was not that long ago. It was as bad as you could ever imagine, and they're back. I don't know how they fired him. We'll come back. Let's talk Shreyas Laddha. We'll see what he thinks about the Brent Venables thing. He's not a Big 12 lifer, though. He probably doesn't care. But we'll have the conversation with him.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Are you going to win some HTO?
Digging deeper with the teams you follow. It's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
We welcome in Shreyas Laddha. If you're watching the video streams, I jumped the gun. Real quick, HTO text to win contest. T to the short code 20357 to win a free cup of iced tea. East Wichita, West Wichita, or Derby. You can enter once per day. Message and data rates apply. Good luck, everybody. We do welcome in Shreyas Laddha here on this Wednesday. Shreyas, how are you? The bye week for football. You catching your breath a little bit here?
Absolutely not. It's plenty going on with KU football, KU basketball, a lot going on.
It is. Let's go back briefly. We'll spend probably quite a bit of time on basketball today, but let's go back briefly to the game in Lubbock I think for me, Shreyas, this was more about Texas Tech. Texas Tech is outstanding. I don't recall the last time we've seen a defense like that in the Big 12, and it just is. I'm not losing much sleep as a KU observer because Tech got them pretty good in Lubbock.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just a class above most of the Big 12, and I think that was exemplified against Kansas. I think, to me, I expected this to be a loss for Kansas, but I think it's a little disappointing. It wasn't a competitive loss, like it felt like outside of the second quarter there, Texas Tech was dominating, and Jalen played, I think, as well as he could have played with the circumstances that he was given. And still they couldn't get past like 20 points. But, I wrote about it there. This is like the same thing last year. They're just not, they're just the middle of the pack Big 12 team. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing. That's probably going to make you a bowl game. But like the answer to the question of when Kansas will be a top end or contending for a Big 12 title continues to be a question mark.
Yeah, Shreyas, it's interesting because, a couple of weeks ago, before the Cincinnati game, we're sitting there after they blow out West Virginia, and it's like they might be in the upper echelon, and then you see that game, and it's like, okay, maybe they're not, and then you get to 2 losses, and now it feels like it's out of the question. Now, not to, start throwing out scenarios or anything like that, on the rest of the schedule is KU, Oklahoma State, Arizona, Iowa State, and Utah. You'd think you get a free spot in Oklahoma State, get you to 5 wins. Like, is it going to be stressful to make this bowl game? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea, to be honest with you, because most of what we think about Kansas goes out based on the week, right? Yeah, they've been an inconsistent team for 2 years now. This year's no exception to that. I think they're a middle of the pack team. I mean, I think they should beat Kansas State. I think Arizona will be a tough game. Utah will probably be a loss, and they're going to beat Oklahoma State. That said, I think there's a scenario where they run the table. I don't think that's completely out of the question, but I think they're going to probably lose 1 or 2 of those along the way. And then the question mark of, how many did you need to win to make a bowl game, I think is out of the question then.
So we'll spend more time on K-State next week. But before we do that, real quick, where's your initial gut there? Is this the year for them to snap the streak? I think my gut right now says K-State's probably a better roster, but clearly they have not played their best consistently all year. What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, K-State's coming into this a little hot. They come off a good win against TCU. Obviously, Kansas is playing at home in Lawrence, so that's, I think, an advantage in that way. But I think it's it could go either way, to be honest with you. Like, nothing which will happen outside of a blowout one way or the other would surprise me. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it's going to come down to possessions too. I mean, to be quite honest with you, if they don't win this year, I have no idea when they're going to win. Like, this is the year to do it. K-State is not as talented as previous years. They're not as good as previous years. I know Kansas is having a special season by Jalen Daniels. If they can't win with that season that he's having, I think it'd be a very disappointing game for Kansas fans, but also just disappointing for the program at all because, you essentially, if you lose to K-State, you're 4th, and you've wasted a top 5 college football season by Jalen Daniels.
Shreyas, let's switch gears over to basketball. We'll kind of preview this upcoming season of this new roster that a whole bunch of people don't know about. But I'll start. We got some news coming down yesterday that Jeremy Case gets promoted up to associate head coach. In our head, it kind of felt like this was the spot that Jacques Vaughn was going to fill to be that number 2. What do we know about Jeremy Case? He's been a guy that's been with Bill Self for a long time, and what does it mean for potentially the future? I guess because that's all that matters. And any coaching things happen at KU, it thinks about the future.
Yeah, I mean, he's the youngest guy in the assistant room for Bill Self. He's been around for a while, a little bit. He's known pretty well in the scouting realm. He's good with recruiting. and all that. I don't think it necessarily means too much for the future. I mean, like tomorrow, God forbid, Bill Self leaves Kansas. I don't think Jeremy Case is the head coach in waiting. I think this is just a reward for him being, with Bill Self for a long time. And the fact that some of his two biggest assistants and longest tenured assistants left the program this past year. I don't think this is okay, tomorrow if Bill Self leaves that Jeremy Case is the head coach in waiting. It's probably going to go to Jock, or they're going to have an open search or whatever. But I mean, I think it's a testament to how much Bill trusts him. I think it's a testament to the fact that he's probably going to be leaving his own program one day. I just don't know it's Kansas right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. I think we're being crazy. Bill Self seems rejuvenated to me to even think about the future. He's not as old as people act like he is. If his health holds up, he seems to love it. He's got a number 19 ranking coming into the season after back-to-back years at number 1. This feels like a really good spot for KU to come in and do what they need to do. I think 19's perfect for them. I know they'll, and they'll say, oh, that's disrespectful. It doesn't matter. Like, the difference in coming in as the preseason number 1 with a stale roster that they had versus number 19 with the juice that they have, it feels like we're on a different planet than we have been the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of that is, Kansas is projected number 1 overall draft pick in Darren Peterson, right? You're not saying that if Darren Peterson's not on the roster, there's a bunch of question marks outside of Darren Peterson.
I know. And that's, so what is it? I think that takes us right into it. Like, are we putting too much pressure on a freshman to be everything, or how has the rest of the roster looked?
If Darren Peterson is what he is expected to be, what Cooper Flagg was last year, I don't think it's too much pressure. It's exactly the amount of pressure. If it was too much pressure, they'd be the number 1 overall team or a top 5 team. They're not that. I think everyone knows this roster has question marks. The shooting is going to be a question mark. Who's going to, come up with that? There's going to be some games that they probably should win that they lose early on because the chemistry hasn't gelled yet. It's a young team. But, I think they will be a lot better than their ranking this year. I think they'll be a top 10 team when it's all said and done. I don't know what that means in, NCAA tournament time. That means, a second weekend team or Final Four team or whatever. I think so much of it depends on how Darren Peterson looks, which I know I think he's going to look fantastic, but also B, how the rest of the roster alongside him gels. Are there guys that emerge as potential NBA talent? Obviously Flory is the next one people are looking at, but a Cole Brasario, a Bryson Tiller, a Marco Jackson, if any of those guys have a leap forward or take the leap forward, it's only going to make things better for Kansas. There's a lot of question marks with this roster, but the two things we know is they're really athletic and they can play defense. Other than that, I have no idea what to expect.
The question kind of begs now in this Big 12, what was it, 6 teams in the top 20 with so many new guys and a lot of question mark. Like, we don't know what a starting lineup's going to look like for this team. We don't know how these transfers are going to come in and play. Like, what are the realistic expectations? Is this the team that could win a Big 12 title, could compete for that, or what's it going to look like? I don't know.
I think the realistic expectation in something like this is you're hoping them rank in the second weekend at least, right?
That's exactly where I put it yesterday.
I think they need to be a second weekend team with the talent they have with Darren Peterson on the roster. That said, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility they're competing for a Big 12 title, but I think they'll lose some games they should win just because of them being young and having to kind of gel as a younger team. I'm really interested to see how they do in conference play because they play some tough opponents in that play. And if they can round out conference play, especially near the end with a couple of good wins there against UConn, et cetera, I think it'll make things better in the long run for Kansas. But also just like it might give us a preview of what conference season is going to look like for the Jayhawks.
So I'm looking, ESPN projects it real quick with, of course, Badunga and Peterson in the starting lineup, but Council, Dawson, and White as the other starters. Is that what you're hearing and seeing?
Yeah, I think it'll be some sort of like those four, and then the fifth, might be the fifth for me is I'm not quite sure who the fifth person is going to be. I think Council is going to start. I think Flory, obviously Darian Peterson. I think White will start. And then to me, I think they can go a lot of different ways with the fifth starter. Obviously, it depends on what Bill wants out of that roster.
Shreyas, we appreciate it. We will follow along as we get all the festivities and the fanfare coming this week, and then we take the week off from basketball. But man, we're so close. We're so close to
next week.
that.
Next week, we're talking Big 12 media next week.
Big 12 media. You're talking Sunflower Showdown. Like it's all right here. So enjoy the bye week, not week off. Follow Shreyas's work at the KC Star. At
Shreyas is about to drive down to Lubbock and go find that pocket knife, it sounds like.
Yeah. Listen, just let him throw the tortillas. Like, what are we doing? Like, can we stop trying to take all the fun away from young people? It never works out well. Tech fans don't get to throw tortillas, and K-State fans don't get to say the F word during a song at basketball games. Like, we're worried about the wrong things here, I think. But whatever. We'll continue to fight this fight every week. Shreyas, we appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
There goes Shreyas Laddha. Follow along at the KC Star. That pocket knife thing. Like, what are we doing? Like, what do you think's going to stop them?
It's nuts, though. They found apparently the Lubbock police found one, and I don't know. It's a whole thing. Shreyas
was the blade out?
The weeds here.
It wasn't.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine it was, but I don't.
Because now you're talking about attempted murder kind of stuff. But no, just we wouldn't be having this conversation if they just let him throw the tortillas. Nobody's ever been hurt by a tortilla. Have you ever seen those tortilla slap videos? It's like they hurt like hell. Anywho, we'll come back. We got a little more Sports Daily. Don't go away.